everyone, and welcome back. It's Andrea Bailey Brown, and I am your profit creator. I'm going to be talking about the top 5 profit leaks in your business today. So thank you for joining me, whether live or on the replay. And so today's topic is very interesting because this is when I work with different entrepreneurs and you take a look at their business, and it's surprising to see all the different places that they're leaking profits and they actually are not seeing it. And it's sometimes, for me, it's like so obvious, and that's where the fun comes in, because I actually start to show them where they can start saving some money and have more profits in their business. So the first part we're going to start off is number 1 profit leak is trying to do everything yourself. Now, this one is very common, especially with female entrepreneurs. They want to be the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker in their companies. And this is a big one, especially if they start their business from home and they were already looking after the kids and the house, and then they take on this business. And it's almost as if they carry on in this trajectory instead of trying to make some changes in that. So when I work with franchise business owner, and they're mainly men in that business, in the business that I work with in the lube industry, they do it totally different. From day one, a man will actually just ask, his wife will take over the books, so it already alleviates him from any extra work in terms of the books and the numbers. So very, very common in that situation. Now, if you're finding that you're also doing everything on your own, it's something that you need to really look at to make sure that you're no longer losing some of your profits in your business. I think in the beginning of your business, it may be okay as you're trying to figure it out, but the fastest way to growth is to make sure that you get some help in your business, whether that's a virtual assistant, or if you're working from, if your business is from home, getting someone in to even clean your home and do those things, so it frees you up that you actually have the time to work on the other things in your business instead of cleaning your home and worrying about toilets, etc. So number 1 profit leak, trying to do everything yourself. Once you decide that you're actually going to make a change in your business and start hiring people, I sometimes see business owners, they will hire like the wrong people. And as John Gordon will say, sometimes you have to get the right people on the bus. Once you get them, you have to make sure that they're in the right seat, right? So hiring the wrong people, what does that actually look like? Sometimes it looks like you have someone that's really a people person. They should be up front, and you might have them behind the scenes doing paperwork. Or opposite, you might have someone who's just not very good with customers or have very good customer service skills, and they are actually talking to customers, and that can really cost you. I was working with a business owner in a bricks and mortar business, and I had to confess that he had to finally let his front person go, because in this case, she was really costing him, spending time talking about what's happening in the business with other people, giving away some of the trade secrets, doing things like that. So that's, again, having someone there, but it's not necessarily the right person for you. So make sure that when you're making that decision to go ahead to bring someone on, you're getting the right people on the bus, but putting them in the right seats. The next one is, the third one is such a biggie, and this one is not knowing your numbers. You will leak profit like you will not believe when you have no idea about your numbers and what they're doing and how much you're supposed to have and where it's going. So 2 years ago, I completed my MBA, my master's in business, and one of the courses that was the scariest for most people and for a lot of us in that program was accounting, corporate accounting and financing, and understanding truly how the numbers work in the business. And to be honest, yours truly, I had to get a tutor to make sure I was clear on everything on that section. But that was one of the motivations for me going back and doing my MBA, because as a business owner as well, I wanted to make sure when I'm in that room with all the accountants and the finance people and all the experts, and when it came time to sit down with those numbers, I understood fully what they were talking about, and that I could also make suggestions and most of all, make informed decisions about what to do with my business moving forward. Do we take dividends or not? Is it time to expand? Is it time to hold back? Capital gains, all the things that matters in a business. I really was empowered. And I think that's the thing about what knowing your numbers will do for you. It will make you super empowered when you are making decisions about your finances and what your next step in your business should be. And also in your business, making sure that you're understanding certain terminologies that work for you. And at Bailey Brown Business Consulting, that's one of the things that we do when we work with our clients, is helping them understand where they should be in their industry and understanding things such as industry average and what's your break-even analysis in your business, liquidity formulas, because those will make a difference for you, especially if you have a bricks and mortar business. How long inventory is in your business, how long does it sit on the shelf, and what's the average in the industry, and is that okay? Is that helping or hurting? So those are some of the things you really need to understand in your business so that you can make some adjustments. So understanding the numbers is really I would say very similar to your blood work, understanding what the numbers actually mean, and are you doing great or not, or where can you make some adjustment. Now, the fourth one is I see sometimes with subscription models, and people have subscription in different places, and whether for their mail and for so many different things, and then sometimes you no longer need those things, but you still keep paying for them, and you're making profit that way. So I would encourage you to go back through and look at all the subscriptions that you have. I have to confess, I had to do that about a month ago. There were subscriptions I was paying for after I had closed out one of my other businesses, and I realized that I was still paying for these things. And why these models work, it's basically the Netflix model. You're paying a low fee, but it's recurring monthly and monthly. And then it's up to us to really call in and say, hey, or email, I don't need this anymore. And sometimes when you're supposed to cancel, they make it a little bit more challenging, that you have to take the time to call. And that way, some of us don't want to be on the phone, so we end up forgetting and end up paying over and over. So that happened to me a few months ago. I realized, oh my, I'm still paying for something. And I had to quickly go in, give them a call, make a note about it to call to cancel some of those services that I no longer needed. So as I said, they call it Netflix model because it's simple, and that's why when you think about your taxes, etc., sometimes the government likes to just take it so that we don't have to remember to go and pay it to them. So that's one of those reasons. And the final one, number 5, is a massive one, and that is spending money on the wrong marketing campaigns. So this is a biggie for most people because everyone really believes the thing to solve their issue, it's marketing. And if they had better marketing, life would be just fantastic and simple and all will be well. But just to realize sometimes is you're spending that money in marketing, but it's in that wrong place. So I believe Stephen Covey had said, sometimes we put our ladder against the wall, and when we get to the top, we realize our ladder was against the wrong wall. And in marketing, I would say very, very similar. Everyone wants to jump straight to marketing because it's sexy and it's easy, and that's what will happen. But getting into marketing first without looking at what your strategy is and why do you need certain marketing and what type of marketing does your business need and your industry, and furthermore, where are your customers hanging out? So not because something is happening in marketing right now, similar to fashion, not because something is happening and everyone is wearing it means you should be too. Just another side tip. But it's the same thing I find in marketing is a lot of people jump on the bandwagon because social media is where it's at and something else is where it's at. But what part of social media is where it's at for you and your brand. Where are your customers hanging out? And what's the customer journey? How does your customer find you? And how do they get to you? So once you create that customer journey, then you can figure out, okay, now I know where my customers are and what's the best place where I should be advertising. So maybe looking into things such as, are your customers on LinkedIn mainly if you're in the corporate sector and that part of things, and you're looking to get corporate contracts and work with major organizations? LinkedIn may be better for you. Or are most of your customers on Facebook, where a lot, Facebook ads are working for some companies, and maybe on Instagram. Instagram is a massive platform and it's really growing, but you have to also make sure that's where your customers are hanging out as well. So sometimes you're spending money on that marketing campaign and it's going to waste. It's like flushing that money down the toilet. And sponsorship is another way. That's a long game. So sometimes you sponsor an event. So you might see big companies, they have the budget for that. They're sponsoring the golf, or they're sponsoring fashion weeks and things like that. Branding. Some of that is purely just branding. So sometimes is your marketing just for branding, to develop a brand, or is it for sales? Have to be really clear so that you can decide what's the best path to use for you. So those are the top 5 profit leaks that I find. I'm going to be writing about these leaks as well. They're going to show up on my blog. You can check me out at andreabaileybrown.com to read some of these items on the blog. And so I'll go over them again. Number 1, we had trying to do everything yourself, right? Trying to take it all on, not a good thing for anyone. And then number 2, when you decide to hire, you're now hiring the wrong people. That doesn't work as well. And not knowing your numbers, the big scary numbers. And the reason that we're in business, and the numbers will dictate many, if not all, of the decisions that we make in our business. And then subscriptions, signing up for so many things, and then we stop needing them, stop using them, but we keep paying for them, doesn't work really well. And then the last one, spending money on the wrong marketing campaigns. So those are my top 5 profit leaks for you for the summer of profit. I hope you will join me again tomorrow, and we will share some more ways that you can actually keep more of your profit in your pocket. Andrea Bailey Brown, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.